Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk, and in today's episode we are going to be discussing and breaking down the most recent trailer for Arrow Season 7, which has just been released from the CW, called Bigger Than One Man. So let's discuss. So Oliver Queen himself, Stephen Amell, did release the other day a screenshot from this trailer saying dropping Monday, so we all knew that a trailer for Arrow Season 7 was going to release at some point today, and it has just dropped. The trailer is entitled Bigger Than One Man, and it focuses on a lot of interesting elements about Season 7 that haven't really been focused on as of yet, so let's dive straight into the breakdown. The first thing to bring up is we get our first official look at Slabside from the outside, so you can see that it is a little bit, there is a little bit of CGI in there, but you can see it does look pretty heavily fortified. There's not really too much to discuss within that, it's just you can get your first official look at Slabside, just in case you were wondering. We then see Stanley, after approaching Oliver, talking to him about how everybody is afraid of him, saying that obviously Oliver being the Green Arrow, everyone knows what he's capable of, so it seems like everybody in Slabside, minus a few members, are pretty much terrified of Oliver and will not approach him due to the fact that obviously they know what he can do. And obviously this is going to be a thing that I think we're going to see play out quite a lot, is that obviously a lot of prisoners, despite the ones we know about like Brick and Bronze Tiger and Stardust, we know that a lot of them are going to be pretty afraid of Oliver. We then hear a voiceover of Brick, played by Vinnie Jones, saying that obviously Oliver is now in prison, you're playing by the wrong rules, and we get a few little screenshots. We get to see Bronze Tiger, we get to see Stardust, and then we get to see him talking to Brick, and we also get to see how Brick actually is looking to shiv Oliver at this point, and perhaps this is that prison fight that Oliver gets into that he then gets detained for, so we'll have to see how that plays out, but obviously this is going to be a lot of conflict that's going to be going on while Oliver is in prison, is him having to deal with these villains who he has put away in the past. We then get another look at another conflict that's going to be going on in this season, which is the conflict between New Team Arrow and also Diggle and Argus. So we can see that we have Renee, Curtis and Felicity, so Curtis' first appearance for Season 7 here. We can see them working on something in some kind of lab of a kind, like, kind of like a New Team Arrow base after the bunker got destroyed in Season 6, and we can see Diggle busting the door open with a bunch of Argus agents, and we can see that he's trying to sort of basically stop whatever it is they are doing. So obviously this is them maybe trying to continue on the vigilante thing. Obviously we know that Renee does want to continue doing it, it seems, or it's kind of hard to predict who's on whose side with this. It's really hard. Like, the trailer gives you some hints, but then contradicts itself in other ways, but obviously this is a big conflict. Is Diggle working with Argus, therefore working in law enforcement, having to deal with his old partners as vigilantes, so we're going to have to see how this plays out. We then get this really cool shot after Renee does say that Oliver asked us to carry on. We can actually see Black Siren and Dinah, actually I think that's Dinah, stood side by side doing their sonic screams together. That's just a really cool shot, and this transitions into the next shot where we get a look at all of our Team Arrow members working together, and you can actually see Black Siren is there alongside Felicity, Dinah, Renee, Diggle, and also Anatoly is there too. So that is really cool. I really like that shot. Obviously we do know here that Laurel is going to be maybe going down the anti-hero arc in this season, or maybe even transitioning into a hero for Season 7, so we can see her working alongside our favourite Team Arrow members. And also it's nice to see Anatoly there. I'm glad he's in this season once again. I didn't think he was going to make it out of Season 6 alive. I still think there's a very high chance he's going to die in Season 7. I mean, he looks pretty badly beat up there, but it's just really nice to see Laurel stood with the team once again. And interestingly enough, we actually see Renee in his Wild Dog costume, his old Wild Dog costume. We can't really get a good look at the costume, but you can actually make out the Wild Dog on it, so he is in his old original suit with the hockey mask. I assume maybe this is because he doesn't want to use the traditional Wild Dog one that he's been using in Season 6, because maybe he's exposed in that sense, whereas people didn't know that this vigilante is Renee Ramirez. But it's interesting to actually see him back in the suit, and I'm actually quite glad he's back in it, because I really like that suit, because obviously it's so comic accurate. I liked his suit in Season 6, but his Season 5 suit cannot be beaten really, so it's nice to see him getting back into his old threads. And sticking with Renee, we see this scene where we get to see Ricardo Diaz shooting up a lab, and he's shooting at Renee, and if you look at Renee, he's wearing an FBI jacket. Now, this is very interesting. Is Renee now working for the FBI? Obviously, we did see him team up with the FBI and Samandra Watson when he was taking down Diaz at the end of Season 6, and he formed quite a bond with Samandra Watson, so has she recruited him onto the FBI? And maybe this explains in the Comic-Con trailer where we saw Renee kind of approaching what looks like a weapons deal. Maybe he was working undercover for the FBI. So is this Renee's new job? Is he now working for the FBI? Obviously he's no longer in the mayor's office, so what's he going to be doing? He could be working for the FBI, and I think that's really interesting. If they've taken Renee and putting him into this responsible position, that's really cool. Renee seems to have a lot of interesting stuff going on next season, so this is really cool. And if he's a part of the FBI, that's a really intelligent and interesting storyline to take Renee down. And we then get our first official look at the Longbow Hunters. You can see them here stealing some tech. You can see Red Dart, Silencer, and Kodiak all there together. And this then leads into some other shots we get of each of the individual members. We see Kodiak, who is looking very, very different from what he looks like in the comics. But you can see him, he's got this big shield, and he definitely seems to be the muscle of the group. We then get a very dark shot of Silencer. You can't really see her face, but you can see kind of the outline of her body. She's going to be a master of stealth, and that's how she's being described. So you can see that here with all these guys she's taken out here. Pretty badass, as you can tell. And then we also get our first official look at Red Dart, who looks great. I love that entire red look. I like the red glasses. I think that looks really sick. And she also has some kind of wrist-mounted weapon, so that is quite similar to Red Dart in the comics. So this is our first official look at the Longbow Hunters. These are most likely our main villains for Arrow Season 7, alongside Ricardo Diaz. So this is really, really cool looking stuff, and I'm really glad we got our first official look at the Longbow Hunters. And we also get this shot where we actually get to see Curtis. Obviously, like I said, Curtis has really got a lot more to do in this trailer, it seems. And he says something very interesting. He says, "I stopped being a vigilante the moment Oliver went to prison." So Curtis is not a vigilante either. He's not Mr. Terrific anymore. He's not wanting anything to do with it whatsoever. He is simply just living a life. He's wearing a suit here. Maybe he's maybe this is Helix. Maybe he's sort of, you know, springboarded off Helix. Maybe Felicity got distracted with that, given everything that's going on, and Curtis has carried it on. But it seems to be like maybe he's taking a bit more of a businessman approach, and that's also an interesting place to take Curtis. And the trailer ends off with Renee talking to this random street kid. Maybe this kid is a lot more important in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But we actually see that they are rescued by the Green Arrow. The kid asks Renee who is that, and Renee responds he has no idea who the hell that is. And obviously this is a screenshot of the new Green Arrow, and whoever this new Green Arrow is, obviously we have to wait and see. There's many theories. It could be Roy Harper, it could be many other people, but the point is we get to see the new Green Arrow. And this then goes on to Laurel, who is now the district attorney for Star City, saying that one thing is for sure, that this is not Oliver Queen, this is someone new. So this again affirms, obviously Oliver Queen's in prison, he can't be the Green Arrow, so who is this new Green Arrow? We just have to wait and see. And I also forgot to add this in, but you can actually see, there's another shot where you actually see William, and he's holding onto a hosen, which if you remember Arrow in the very early days, this is what Oliver gave to Thea in the pilot to represent reconnection when he first met back up with Thea when he got back onto the mainland. So it's really interesting to see William getting one of these. Is this Oliver getting out of prison and giving it to William, or is William visiting him in prison and he's giving it to him? I don't quite know, but it's nice to actually see that kind of reconnection there and actually see that links back to Season 1. Overall, I really like this trailer. I think it's really well put together. I think it's awesome, really, you know, got me really hyped, and it gave me quite a lot of interesting things to think about, especially when it comes to Renee. We get to see the Longbow Hunters, we get to see Laurel actually working with Team Arrow. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to pick out from this trailer. And you know, given that we're only a week away, you know, it's given me that little extra boost just to keep me there for another week while we wait for Season 7 to premiere. I am quite disappointed we still haven't seen Roy. I was really hoping to get a look at Roy in this trailer, but I guess maybe that was wishful thinking. But besides all that, what did you guys think about this trailer? Make sure you let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, it will help me out a lot, and share this video with anyone and everyone you know who loves DC TV and get them to join the community. And as always guys, please subscribe for your latest content on Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And with all that said guys, I hope to see you again in my next video.